isn't anything that I can tell you about the 6P that you didn't hear from other reviewers. And you know, being honest, I'm not the big dog on the block in the eyes of phone manufacturers, so I don't get things first. But what I do try to do is present it in a way that's not so common and provide a different input that many may have missed or looked over from other reviewers. So without further ado, this is my Nexus 6P review. The Nexus 6P, the most anticipated Nexus device since the last Nexus. When the leaks came out at first, everyone was quick to react and say how horrible it looked. People even said it looked like Bender from Futurama. Regardless if you hate the design then, or you do now, it's still a premium feeling device. And I think that's what matters the most. This is the first time I can say a Nexus felt extremely premium and something we can finally compare against Samsung or Apple. I mean, the P is in the name, and the P means premium. Everything from the metal trim down to the tactile feeling power button, it just feels good. I know people are wondering, what about that visor on the back and how does it look? Well, on graphite it blends in, on the white one you get the Stormtrooper look, and on the metal one, it's a mix between the two. Regardless, I think it looks fine. Besides, we toss our phones in cases anyways, right? Just like with other metal phones, the Nexus 6P can get pretty slippery. There's been quite a few times where the phone has almost hit the deck. So what I recommend doing is a couple things. Number one, if you don't like cases, then you should check out a slick wrap. A slick wrap is just a wrap you can put around your phone that really protects it, and also you can give your phone a new style and also add a little texture to it. This is the carbon fiber that I have on my phone, but there's also a lot of different slick wraps you can actually get. Use the links down below and check out slick wraps online. And the second thing you guys can do is actually get a case. Now I haven't figured out which case I actually like just yet, so what I need you guys to do for me is go down below, leave a comment, let me know which slick wrap you like, and let me know which case you like as well, and I may do a review and a giveaway of each of those. Now this phone reminds me of Mr. Reading Rainbow himself, and that's not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's really unique. The hump is very minimal. I mean, it's so minimal that the phone doesn't rock or anything like that when typing when it's laying on its back, and it's something you'll soon forget about. Now speaking of the back, that's where the fingerprint sensor is found. It's a little circular crater that you can sit your finger in. It's a super fast unlocking mechanism, and I find myself liking this position a ton. Ask my fiance. I still wish the sensor was in the front sometimes, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Unless you want to have two cakes. Two cakes? But really, having to flip the phone around while it's laying on its back is pretty annoying. So what I do when it's on its back, I just use the swipe pin instead. At times the crater is hard to find without searching for it, since it's on the back and you don't have physical eye contact with it, but that's just my opinion. Now the fingerprint is used for unlocking, and it's also used for authentication for applications, and it works wonderfully. It's super fast. I mean, sometimes scary fast. And I have to admit, it's really cool reaching your hand into your pocket, unlocking your phone, and by the time it's at your face, you're already in your phone. I think you should earn an Xbox Live achievement, Ninja Unlocking, when you do this. The display is 5.7 inch. Now Quad HD is becoming a standard spec, and it's nothing really amazing anymore, but it's still cool to see a Nexus on the cutting edge of technology and giving the people what they really want. And this screen does look good. I mean, really good. The text jumps out at you, games, Tech Ninja videos, and just about everything else looks plain great. Is it better than Samsung or LG's? Nah. But is it worse? No. And it's almost to the point where I can't really tell you what the best screen is. Sure, the Samsung screen gets a little bit brighter, but beyond that, all these screens look really good. So kudos to Huawei on that. I knew they had it in them. Now let's pop back over to performance. As we know, this is a Nexus device, so it's rocking Android's latest OS 6.0 Marshmallow. And before it was coined the delicious name, it was just Android M, and I called it Android Meh. It's not a sexy new version of Android, but it's a very important step to adding stability. It added a ton of new features, fixed bugs, and it's a nice layer of polish on top of Android. As expected, the Nexus runs the OS without a problem. The transitions are silky smooth and scrolling is very iOS-like. Don't hate me, please. I'm very impressed with the performance on this device and the Android M operating system as a whole. Now I feel with every new phone that comes out, I say that it runs Android flawlessly. However, I'll say that again with this phone. This is just something about a Nexus that just feels great. Every app runs perfectly. But I do see that occasional force crash just sometimes. But that's just Android reminding you you're still on Android. One feature I do want to talk to you guys about is on tap. This basically takes information from your screen and shows you stuff that's relevant right now. For example, I sent myself an email about a movie in a restaurant. I can quickly pop to the card and relevant information will come up. This feature is super useful, but it's not 100% bug-free. Sometimes nothing comes up, other times it shows different things than it did just a few seconds later. Also, it's not super smart just yet, like when it comes to calendar reminders. It gets the location and time right, but the subject is sometimes weird. It's a great start and something that will become the staple for Android. And it's gonna be one of those features that you could say, wow, my Android has this and your iPhone, your BlackBerry, or your Windows phone does not. Now, battery life is different for every single person, but let me tell you what you can expect. Great battery life. I'm seeing reports of 4 hours of screen on time and around 15 hours of standby time. I don't get those times, but I'm in a really bad signal area, and a lot of times my battery life isn't as great because it's always searching for a signal. But I'm seeing enough reports and enough different people out there that I can say you could get around 3 to 4 hours of screen on time and around 15 to 17 hours of standby time. And that's not bad at all. The camera on the Nexus 6 is really good. Now, once again, I'm sorry I can't say it's on the level of Samsung, LG, or Apple, and it's a very good camera in most situations. The laser autofocus is not a buzzword, and it's legit. The image quality is really good too. Images produce some really good looking colors, and with HDR turned on, you can pull in some great exposure. With HDR off, a lot of images seem to be a bit dim. Now, one thing I want to note is that HDR is very slow. I mean, it's not rapid fire. The camera will make you wait 2 or 3 seconds after taking a picture for it to save, and also burst fire is very slow. It makes this sound, this rapid fire sound when it's bursting. However, the sound is a lot faster than the image that is being burst. Besides those few things, this camera is pretty sick. Low light imagery looks really good. I mean, you can see these examples that I'm showing you right now. And the video is really nice as well. 4K looks great, but it's just a bit jerky when it's trying to autofocus. 120 frames per second or 240 frames per second both creates some amazing footage. A bit soft on the edges, but still looks pretty dang good. Now let's talk about the speakers. There's front-facing speakers on this bad boy, and these sound really, really good. I mean, you can really compare this to the HTC series, which has been the holy grail for front-facing speakers. I will put it up against any HTC phone right now. I think the front-facing speakers are that good. Now this device is rocking USB-C. I know a lot of people really don't like the change, but more and more phones are going to have USB-C. Samsung is probably going to make the switch as well, and that's just the new charging technology. Now, it does support quick charge with the USB-C cable. They also provide you with another cable as well, so you do have a USB-C to A, which is that standard cable, and you also have the USB-C to USB-C with an adapter to plug it into a wall. This phone does not support wireless charging, so it's kind of a bummer because if I had USB-C, I would have really loved to have wireless charging as well, so I have an option on how to charge it, but since it has that metal backing, it doesn't support wireless charging. Bummer. And there you have it, guys. That was my Nexus 6P review. I really hope you enjoyed the video. This is actually my new setup. I'm still working on it, guys, but I want to get this video out for you guys because like the Nexus every single year is the phone I get most excited about. And this is the best Android phone I have used ever. It has every single thing to me that's really important. The only thing that it lacks is wireless charging, but beyond that, I have the build, I have the form factor, I have the speed, I have the camera, and I have pretty much everything else. And of course, going to get the latest version of Android for the foreseeable future. As always, guys, my name is Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you like my video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and also leave a comment. I would love to talk to you guys. Have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later.